I watched my friend take a crap in the park. Then we threw rocks at it. I miss being a teenager. What is the worst thing you've ever seen or heard in a game of truth or dare? Oh man, I'm so excited to see my oogly moogly viewer again. Do you remember me? If you don't, I'm Andrew, your storyteller, and boy do we have a good one today. While you're here, why don't you hit the like button and subscribe, this way you won't miss any more of my story times. And if you do, I'll get Ty Lopez to give you one of his Lambos. Hope you did that. Let's get into the stories. Kiss the most beautiful girl in the room. Proceed to not kiss your girlfriend. Perks of being a wallflower. When asked to present a deep secret about themselves, one of the really hot girls, this was high school, straight up, admitted to using whipped cream to get her cat, aren't their tongues like sandpaper? To lick her. The awkwardness escalated exponentially like a nuke in the room, seeping into the very core of every living being present. The best truth I have heard came about 6 years ago. A girl walked in on her parents having sex with another couple. Edit. For those asking, amongst the group of us playing at the time, a friend of this person knew about this story, so asked if she had ever seen her parents had sex. She just elaborated slightly from the simple yes answer. One of the popular girls in my high school admitted to regularly pooping in her hand. She took truth and was asked to tell an embarrassing secret or something like that. She said that she was always embarrassed whenever there was a splashing sound in the toilet when she went to poop, so she'd always poop in her hand and then slide it quietly into the water. She went from being a popular girl to being the hand poop girl pretty quick. I got dared to use a zipline that nobody had likely touched in decades. So we climbed up a mountain while wasted in the middle of the night, found that my friend was not bullcrapping and that it actually did exist, used our zip on it, and sailed over a 1,500 feet drop. And then the thought occurred to me that I had no way of getting back, and I had not even brought a flashlight with me, and had absolutely no knowledge of part of the mountain I was on. So I basically stood in place for 7 hours or so. I don't know if that was the worst, but it was definitely the most stupid, especially considering that the whole point of the game was to get with some girls who were no longer in a partying mood after I disappeared into the night. When I was 15, a girl I was trying to date invited my friend and me over to a house where she was babysitting. When we arrived, she was there with 4 of her girlfriends, including her one extremely slutty and rumored sty-wielding friend. After drinking everything in the house she thought the parents wouldn't miss, we played truth or dare. Eventually, the girl I liked dared me to go have sex in the master bedroom with the slut. I passed and took truth, but my friend took the dare and went off with her. They came back out about 5 minutes later, and no one believed they had done anything. 9 months after that, everybody believed them. My friends and I loved this game in high school. One day I came up with the best dare. You had to be blindfolded, and someone would kiss you and you'd have to guess who it was. Well, eventually everyone just wanted to play that game, so we did for a few rounds. There were like 8 or 9 of us, so one person would be blindfolded, and everyone would vote on who had to kiss them. It was always a good mix of genders, guy girl, girl girl. Well, it got boring eventually because everyone was just doing a light peck on the lips. So we invented round 2. Round 2, you had to kiss them for 3 seconds and actually move your lips a little bit. Like a real kiss. Round 3, you had to make out with them for 5 to 7 seconds. Round 4, you had to use your hands and touch their face and shoulders. On particularly wild nights we would get to round 5, where you would have to actually straddle the person and make out furiously with them for 10 seconds. It was a great game though, and to be honest, it taught me how to make out properly, because at the end we rated everyone's kissing. This is a long-ass story, but I promise the payoff is there. First college party. Commence after party truth dare with about 8 people. 3 a.m. rolls around, we're down to 6 people, but things start getting a little raunchy. A kiss here, a flash there, take off an article of clothing, all in good fun. 3:30 rolls around, damn I still remember the time. This really cute girl who I was crushing on since high school asked me and I answered truth, because by this time I was down to my boxers and I didn't feel like sitting with my dick out. Anyway, she asks me some stupid question, I forget what it was exactly, along the lines of what's the craziest place you ducked. I was a virgin at the time, so my answer, naturally, was a lie. However, it was a boring one. I said the living room at my parents' house. Everyone started booing me, saying that answer was not worth a turn, and told the girl to go again. I got really embarrassed because it was not only a giant lie, but a giant lie that was apparently too prude. For some reason, let's call it alcohol and weed, I agreed to go again. Inside I was having a panic attack and wanted to cry. Yes, men have feelings too. So to avoid a repeat of a sexual question, I went with dare. Duck it, I thought, I'm decently hung, so I'd rather have my dick out than people find out that I never put my dick in. I was 18, in my defense, losing your virginity was everything back then. So she dares me to go down on her. This is literally every dude's wet dream, the girl you want more than anything, but thought you couldn't have, just asks you to eat that pussy. So I obliged, whole ducking heartedly. It's all downhill from here, folks. As soon as it sunk in what she asked, I got a massive ducking boner. I was wearing those peekaboo boxers, so guess who showed his face without me noticing? And guess whose face began drooling? So, yeah, pre-cum is a real thing, is something I learned that night. So here I am sitting across from the hottest girl ever, who just asked me to eat her out, with my dick oozing, throbbing, and leaking all over my boxers, surrounded by 3 other girls and another guy, as well as some random party stragglers just watching the game unfold. It gets pretty bad. I notice what's going on, but I don't think much of it because she already has her panties off, so all she does is hike up her skirt and goes spread eagle. Holy crap. I'd never done this before. The most I've done with a girl was kiss at that point. I should preface this all by saying that I get gassy when I am nervous. Some of you may know where this is going, but I guarantee you ducking don't. So now she's spread eagle on the floor, and I need to make a move, so I do what any girl-loving guy would do in the most awkward way possible. I shifted onto all fours and crawled towards her like a ducking tiger or something. I put my face deep in the snatch, but my hands aren't touching her or anything. Instead, I'm still on all fours, like I'm a puppy sniffing her pussy. After a few seconds the position gets horribly uncomfortable, and I shift my weight in such a way that my ass is now sticking up and my knees underneath my body. What happens next is the single worst 30 seconds of my life, followed by years of shame. She begins moaning and tells me to take off my boxers. I quickly oblige, but I can only get them half off in this position without stopping what I'm doing. So basically I am now mooning 3 chicks and a dude that are sitting behind me, my hairy asshole perfectly on display, about 2 feet from their faces. The chick I'm eating out starts moaning more and saying she's about to cum. Anxiety gets the better of me, I get super nervous. Did I mention I get gassy when I'm nervous? Did I mention that alcohol also gives me horrible indigestion? The more things heat up, the more I am now focusing on what is to be the biggest fart of my life. She begins to cum, I can feel it from her bag and other muscles tensing up. I get so excited, but simultaneously relieved, that I can stop and excuse myself to go to the bathroom and let out a fart. Except I got relieved too soon. The fart was explosive, but the real problem was that I hadn't taken a crap that day. The real problem was that while this girl was having an orgasm, I was taking a projectile crap on 4 people behind me. The smell. Oh god, the smell. I didn't want to turn around, but I had to before the girl was even done with her orgasm. They were ducking coated. One of the girls got it worse than everyone else. Her face looked like it was dipped in a bucket of Nutella. Chunky, watery Nutella. The dude got it bad too, and they all got it in their hair, their mouth, oh god. So now this crapping all happened in just several seconds, so when the girl finally opens her eyes all she sees is my gaping asshole with bits of poop leaking out of it. I turned around to look at the damage, me on all fours, and the other people soaked in feces, starting to scream. She screamed. I screamed. The dude began hitting me, covering me in my own crap that was falling off his face and neck, except several seconds after he started hitting me he began vomiting. His hands slip on the vomit and he collapses on top of me. So if you will, 2 naked dudes on top of each other, coated in cum, vomit and explosive diarrhea, surrounded by hot chicks, most of whom are also covered in poop. Epilogue. I actually dated the girl for 2 years, and the chick who got coated in my crap the worst is now my best friend. The dude I actually never saw again, he left that night. I saw the other 2 girls from time to time, but we never made eye contact. For some reason, people started calling me Ass Candy at parties after that. The nickname stuck around until I moved cities a year ago. Thanks for watching. What did you think of the story time? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video, smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any more story times.